Hey, I'm Dr. Isaac Jones, and we're going to talk about functional medicine marketing tips for practice owners. This is something that I have absolutely loved. Since I was a student in school back in 2005 to 2008, I just ate up sales and marketing, learning about it. I was always training in some of the top doctors' offices as a student. And then when I came out of school, obviously I went super deep into clinical excellence and functional medicine education, things of that nature. But, cellular detoxification, environmental medicine, epigenetic education, but really the core of what I've seen as people's success in this space is their ability to market. They could be clinical geniuses and not know how to market, and they have a small business and they're not able to impact people the way they want to. And so that is a problem, and I want to solve that because majority of people, they just unfortunately don't know how to market, and they don't understand the key principles behind what to do and what to say to market in a way that will create the biggest impact and drive the most amount of revenue and ultimately transformations for the people that you want to serve. So again, we're going to get into some of these awesome functional medicine marketing tips for you. So when working right, what will a good marketing strategy accomplish for a functional medicine practice? That's the question I want to ask. And here's the thing, is it pre-qualifies good patients and it actually repels not so good patients or patients that are not a good fit for your office. It also educates patients, so they come more informed and they become more understanding of who you are and ultimately what you're up to. A great marketing strategy drives leads. It drives top of funnel. It drives more and more people to understand about your gifts, talents, and abilities, as well as what your unique offerings are. And then it positions you and your system and your business as an authority, right? It positions you as the go-to. That's what good quality marketing does, and that's what it accomplishes for you, the doctor. So the other key thing is that it differentiates you, right? So a good marketing strategy will differentiate you between the person that's down the street from you. And so this is obviously stuff that I love and I educate and teach, and I've done so for years and years of coaching and training doctors. This is some of the things that good marketing actually does, because if you do it properly, you will have patients ready to sign up, or way more ready to sign up than a lot of the other marketing strategies that unfortunately most people, say 99% of the doctors, are implementing. So the second question I want to ask is, what are the 2 to 3 biggest problems around how practice owners are thinking about marketing? The challenge that a lot of doctors have is they tack marketing on as an afterthought. It's something that isn't front of mind. And if we truly want to serve and change and transform the people in our community that are having difficulty or a challenge with the things that we can help with, then we should actually be prioritizing and thinking about marketing as one of the most important things in our business. Sure, our craft, our science, our art is always the most important thing. That should come number one. But a close second, or even tied with number one, if you really get the mission of changing and transforming lives, is marketing and sales, right? We unfortunately have prioritized science, I would say, and education around all of the nuances of the human body. I shouldn't say unfortunately, it's a good thing. The reality is we've been doing that, and what happens is we put marketing on the back burner. The other thing is that our schools have not taught us about marketing. I remember the marketing class that I had in school, and it was literally taught by a teacher that had a failed business. And I was like, why is he teaching me marketing when he has never built a really successful business in the first place? So nobody took him seriously. And that's the reality. It's all theory. Medical schools are all theory in respect to their education. And the other challenge is that, there's a lot of doctors that they market in respect to push versus pull. So push marketing is in-your-face type marketing. It's, a newspaper ad or a television ad, or it's jumping into a community event and having a booth or something like that, versus pull marketing, where you're consistently adding value to people over time and you develop a relationship, a long-term relationship with them versus a transactional marketing. So transactional marketing versus relationship marketing is completely different. Transactional relationship is typically push, hey, I've got this really great deal, check it out. And then when you look at pull marketing, it's a long-term relationship-based marketing strategy where you're making relationships with the people that you want to network with that could drive more traffic and leads to more referrals. You are developing a system of marketing where people are learning more and more about you until they actually buy. And just something that you should know from a statistical perspective around buying and the consumer psychology is that 11% of people will buy whatever you're offering right off the bat, but 70%, right, they'll need more education and they will buy anywhere from 3 months later all the way to over a year. So what that tells us is the majority of people need education. They need constant contact and feedback. Marketing agencies know that, which is why they keep marketing over and over and over and over so that you see their stuff on television, in magazines, etc. Think of Geico, think of these big billion-dollar brands. They need essentially some real estate equity in your mind around their brand and what they do. But we are no different. But we need to do that in a way that's more emotionally engaging than a Geico commercial, right? We need to do that in a way that creates more emotional connection and fulfillment with the people that we are connecting with. And what that can look like is through a series of different marketing strategies that you can develop and create. And I'll get to that in a second. So that is essentially a really key element, is understanding push versus pull marketing, long-term relationship versus transactional marketing. Now, what are the few tips for implementing a functional medicine marketing plan that will really have you set yourself apart? And what does that kind of process look like? So number one is you need to have the marketing infuse confidence and excitement in your process and in your business. That's what it needs to do for both you and for the person that you're marketing to. And so for you, you should be excited about getting more patients because your business model works. Now, I unfortunately know a lot of businesses out there that are educating on virtual practice, etc., and their model is broken. They're turning doctors into slaves, and so the more people they drive into their practice, the more work they have to do. Now, if you're marketing in a way that excites you because it's driving more revenue, it allows for you to have more freedom, it allows for you to impact more lives, but it doesn't, you have a business model that actually works for you versus you having to work for it, like it's a completely different game. That's obviously what we specialize in the Health Experts Alliance and the Virtual Practice Accelerator program. It should instill confidence and excitement in you and in the people that you're marketing to. And so I hope you can get and grasp that, because they have confidence, but you also have confidence. Because most doctors, they don't have confidence in like, hey, if I flood the top of pipe, right, and I get all of these new people that I'm able to serve and help, hey, that doesn't really excite me because I'm going to be working more. I'm not going to be seeing my wife. If I want to travel, it's going to bind me up. But they never build a business model from the get-go that creates freedom to be able to live the lifestyle of their dreams. So that is actually a really important aspect of marketing, is get your business model correct, have your back-end systems dialed. So number two is confident your program gets results. So this is your program that should be a cash-based program. A lot of people are fee-for-service, right? And that's one way to run your business, but you ultimately want to have a cash-based program and be confident in the results that it can get. And so if, again, you don't have that, then you're doing a disservice to not only yourself, but the people that you're serving, because most people, they need a process. They need time to create transformation. The average patient in America spends around an hour with a doctor a year. That's not enough time to get a really great transformative result. That's the average person in America. So when they engage with you, they need to like get sucked into your ecosystem, Because in order for us to change and transform their health for the rest of their lives, which is what we're in the business of doing, then we need to create a process, a program that they go through that will bring in a lot of cash for you, but also allow for them to get the results that they deserve. So again, there's confidence in your program that it's going to get results. So the marketing is then more bold. It can be more in your face. It can be more, you can get more excited about what you're talking about because of, again, what you have on the back end. This is, again, something that we talk in detail about and give you all the frameworks and the structures in the Virtual Practice Accelerator program. If you want more information, obviously, we have it below. But confident in your signature process and how you differentiate yourself. So I'm talking about confidence a lot here. The first 3 points of tips for implementing good functional medicine marketing plan isn't like the copywriting on the page, right? Which is important, or the various like colors that you want to use or whatever. It's ultimately how you show up and how you build a business in a way that instills confidence in them and in you. And there's, again, confidence and excitement in your business model for both them and you. B is confidence your program will get results for both them and you. And then C is confident in your signature process. And that's how you differentiate yourself from other people in the environment. You could have a person that is serving people in the hormone space right down the road from you and your hormone health, and people clearly understand how you are different than them. And that should be something that you think out beforehand, but that should be put into your marketing, and it should be clear and almost like magnetically attractive to like having people want to work with you. Another thing is setting up a self-optimized funnel that improves over time. So marketing should be, again, a thing that gets them to do another thing. Like, what is the next step? What's the next micro intention in the process of marketing? So the marketing that goes out, right? The next micro intent is to actually get their email or to get their phone number so that you can develop a relationship with them and essentially optimize a funnel or a process of education that is automated and systematized, that doesn't require your time, that converts and gets people excited about your process, your program, your business model right through that funnel. And that, again, is a self-automated, self-managing process. And that's what a good marketing funnel does, is it gets you to pull people into a self-optimized funnel that improves over time. So that's number 4. Number 5 is you've chosen one key avenue to create ongoing relationships with clients. And I say one key avenue because like it's overwhelming when you pick all these different social media platforms for your market. But there are so many different social media platforms right now. There's social media platforms for conservatives that have tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people. For people that are more liberal, there's like social media platforms for them. There's social media, there's the big social media platforms like Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. So ultimately, which one is a match for your niche market? And then focus on just one that you can dominate and that you can, through email marketing, continue to add value to the people that you're nurturing within. Again, we're talking about long-term relationships versus transactional marketing. This is a huge distinction. And when you choose that one key avenue, it allows for you to really go deep, continue to cultivate relationships in that realm. And obviously you'll have more people that will come on your team perhaps in the future, or an agency that you can work with to expand beyond that. But when you're getting started, that's really a key thing for marketing, is don't get overwhelmed with multiple different platforms, just pick one. So the 6th and final is setting up technology that works for you. We have a tech stack in the Virtual Practice Accelerator that we educate on that allows for around 30, 40 people to be doing work for you, right? Through systems, automation, and technology that you'd literally have to hire for like literally $100 or $200. It's unbelievable what we have access to right now in the 21st century. And this is why virtual healthcare is taking off. So, this is something that I think is very important and essential to understand. And it's something that, that we want you to master, is setting up technology in your marketing that optimizes and systematizes and communicates and converts without you, right? So this is very key. So the last question I want to ask is why branding and your niche are multipliers for marketing. Having conviction around your brand and who you are. Your brand is really who you are. It's an extension of your values and what your mission and purpose is. Like, it should be something that is integrated into your marketing, and it should be something that drives higher level of results. When people can feel and sense a value-centric, purpose-driven individual, that's an element of your brand that you really want as a core element in your marketing. And a lot of people, they'll think of branding as like the colors and the logo, but really what branding is the experience of who you are and who your team is and what your business does emotionally in the mind of the people that are kind of scoping you out. So I'll repeat that again. It's the emotional engagement that your prospects have with you and your brand. That's really what branding is. So how can we create a really positive emotional association? It's through having high character, being values oriented, integrity based, and obviously being somebody that is purpose driven, mission centered, because people feel that they sense it and they're like, man, this person's heart is in the right place. They want to serve and add value. And then being decisive in your niche will multiply the results that you get for your patients, because you're serving ultimately who you can help the most. This spreads word of mouth. This is a guy that helps with, I don't know why this came into my head, but foot infections or like fungal infections or something like that. This is the girl that helps women with anti-aging strategies and having their skin, hair, and nails looking beautiful or whatever. So niching down is important. It's something that we can talk about later, but it makes marketing so much easier. And hopefully these are like everyone that's educating on functional medicine marketing tips, like they're missing the mark, because what we just talked about today in respect to, the push versus pull marketing, the long-term relationship versus transactional, the confidence in your business model and your program and your signature process, how to differentiate yourself in setting up a self-optimized funnel that improves over time, having one avenue that you focus on, one platform that you focus on to drive kind of the conversation with your clients where they mostly are living, and then setting up technology that works for you. Like, this is the stuff that makes marketing work. And then the multipliers, again, are choosing a niche and getting a little bit more niche oriented with your marketing. And then obviously understanding that who you are, your mission, your purpose as a brand impacts, your overall impact in respect to your business. So hopefully this added a ton of value to you. Please share this with any of your friends that might find this of value, of people that maybe you've gone to school with that might be struggling with marketing, or any colleagues that you think might find this valuable. At Health Experts Alliance, we are committed to being the global leaders in virtual practice education and online brand building for the doctor. So if that's you, stay plugged in. This is part of our marketing, is educating you on really amazing things. So we are constantly coming out with more and more materials and education that will transform your business and the way that you think to get you better results. So stay tuned for more things. And if you're interested, learn more about the Virtual Practice Accelerator program, because that program is what I want everyone to go into to really build the foundation for a business that works for you versus you working for the business, a business that creates freedom virtually versus something that is putting you in essentially into a hamster wheel, which is what most other agencies are educating on, unfortunately, right now. And fortunately for us, we're getting all of their top clients. So hopefully this added a ton of value to you. Hope you have a great day, and thanks for listening.